So it's been longer than just a few days. And we've got all of these tomatoes and these tomatoes. And so we're going to turn this into some sauce. It is already late in the day. So let's see how far we get. Okay, if you're like me and you froze your tomatoes, this is a very helpful step. They are mostly thawed, and so I'm able to strain out a bunch of the water that's just hanging out in there, which will help us in our cook down time later on. Now, they are only mostly thawed. Some of them were still pretty frozen, and my hands were a-stinging, but it did help out. I probably emptied that measuring cup 2 or 3 times, and that is an 8-cup measuring cup. So, I mean, that really took a lot of water off and will shorten our cook time. But as you can see, when I'm putting them in there, there's still some ice. So there was water, obviously, later on. And what I do is when it starts to cook a bit, I just scoop off the water as it collects at the top. That way, it helps shorten that time as much as possible. So give that a try if you do have frozen tomatoes. Okay, both canners are full of tomatoes. So I'll start cooking those away. I'm out here on my deck. This is where I'm going to cook them. The second canner, I only got like 6 or 7 bags in there because some of them were still very frozen. So hopefully as it cooks down, we can add more. To recap, what's left is 5 bags and that gray bucket full. So maybe another day of making tomato sauce. TBD. So anyways, I'm going to start these cooking and I'll bring you back. Wanted to show you what my setup out here looks like. These are both 23-quart pressure canners. I'm going to be using my chef stove with the back off to can these. I mean, the view is viewing. Okay, so it's a new day, as you can see. It's brighter outside. I'm wearing different clothes. We didn't get the tomato sauce done. Who was surprised? Nobody. So we're working on it today. It's been cooking a little bit on my stove, and now I'm going to run it through the mill to get all the pulp and things out, and then cook it down a little bit more and pull the water off so that I can can it. So let's get started with that. After letting my sauce cook a bit, I am running it through my electric mill. The seeds and the pulp and the skins are going to come out one side. The sauce is coming out, obviously, the front. It is a very messy process, so don't be like me. Put down a garbage bag or shower liner or something like that. That is an 8-cup measuring cup, and so I have to pause and keep going, but I couldn't find the bowl I usually use, and so here's my jankety setup, but it goes pretty fast. And that electric mill, hands down better than my regular manual one. I would not trade this for anything. Okay, we've got 1 canner down. If you're like me, this is a messy process, so I'm wearing pajama pants and a pajama shirt. You might want to do the same. It's also going to make a mess everywhere, so do it somewhere where you don't mind the mess. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then we'll get on to the second canner. Okay, here is the first canner, all blended up. Here are the skins and seeds and stuff the mill decided we didn't need. These will go to my chickens. You could dehydrate this and grind it and make it a tomato powder, but what a tasty treat this will be for my chickens. Note to the viewer, I'm trying to get this all done before I go on vacation tonight. So, pure Aries fashion, let's load on the chaos. Here I am working on the second canner, and as you can see, tomato sauce is literally everywhere. That's okay. I do own a mop and some spray cleaner, so not a problem. Everything can get washed, and my clothes can go in the washing machine, not a problem. But this does go pretty fast because it has been cooking, so it's kind of mush anyways. So it just speeds right through that mill, and then I was dumping it back in the stock pot that's right there, the shinier thing that you see me dumping it into, to then kind of hold over until I can put it back into my canner to cook down further until it's the consistency that we want. Okay, second pot done of tomatoes. It was a little bit less than the first one because there were more in the other one. Something I didn't mention is that they sat on the stove and cooked for a little bit, and so water gathered at the top. So I pulled a lot of the water off of both pots, so that decreased some of the volume, but it's less work after milling them for you. So now they're going to cook down. I'm going to go get some garlic and some weeds from my garden, aka basil, and then some onion, and I'm going to cook that up while these are cooking down. Yeah, I will show you that whole process. But first, I wanted to show you the behind the scenes of the dirty mess that this made. Now, I'm not a person that like goes slowly and takes my time and doesn't make a mess. I just like make the mess and then I'm like I'll clean it up later. Hence, look at my shirt covered in tomatoes. There was tomato sauce on my face, so here's the behind the scenes. Here are all of our peels, pulps, whatever, non-sauciness. As you can see, it made a bit of a mess here. Here's the inner workings of the mill. Some other dirty dishes. Our tomato sauce. It's about to get on the stove. All right, so this is what it looks like after. This will all be getting washed. And let's get back to making. All right, to our sauce, we're going to add garlic, onion, and basil. I have green and purple basil here from my garden. The purple is ruffle basil. Green is just regular basil. And then I chopped up the onion and the garlic. Now, hindsight after this, I definitely should have done a lot more. But that's okay. I'll just add more into my sauce later on, no problem. So what I'm going to do is saute down the garlic and onion until the onion starts to get a bit translucent. And then I'll cut off the heat and just wilt the basil in because I don't want to burn or scorch the basil. And we want to get a nice roasty taste on our onion and our garlic. While we're cooking it, we want to make sure in the future when you're doing it, you want to make sure that you're keeping a good amount of oil in there. We don't want anything to get crispy or brown. And also olive oil in your sauce is delicious. So keep a good amount of oil in there. You'll see in a minute when I'm cooking what I mean. I'm going to put a little bit more in here, but we want it to look wet with olive oil. We don't let it get dry. Also, look at how nice our sauce is looking, bubbling down. But here's what I mean. You can see a lot of the olive oil. The onions are starting to get translucent. This is about when I would turn the heat off and then just stir the basil in the heat of the pan and the garlic and onions and let it just wilt down. And then add that into the sauce. You want to add it after we mill it. Otherwise, it's going to all go through the mill and you're not going to have it into the sauce. But look how beautiful that purple is in there. It's a purple ruffle basil. My first time using it, it is delicious. Here we are, the best time. Every canner loves this part where you get to jar up everything and then put it in the canner. So this sauce, as you can see, it's so thick and beautiful. It came out really good. I love the consistency, so I was really happy with it. I filled the jars to about I'd say about an inch headspace. And then to debubble, I just kind of tapped them on the counter. And I did not add any lemon juice or citric acid into these. My tomatoes are pretty acidy, so I didn't feel I needed to add any in there. I had also added salt when I added the herbs. My kitchen, my choice, your kitchen, your choice. So far, this has worked for us. No rotten tomatoes, sauces, or anything like that. Wipe with vinegar, put our lids and rings on fingertip tight, and then these are going to go in the canner for 40 minutes. If you had pints, it would be 35 minutes. And then you're going to put them on your counter for 24 hours and then onto your shelf. Sauce is done. We're in a new location. We ended up with around 26 quarts of tomato sauce. with fresh basil, garlic, and onions from my garden. Hopefully you have those as well. If not, steal them from someone else's garden. That was about, I don't know, over 100 pounds of tomatoes. So lots of tomatoes. I still have more tomatoes turning red in my garden. And those ones from that gray bin, I did not process. Those are in freezer bags in the freezer. We will do that at a later time. Maybe in the wintertime we'll make some more tomato sauce. I don't know. We'll do something with it. Diced tomatoes? I don't know. Salsa? I don't know. But that was a lot. That was a lot. And also, in true Aries fashion, we are leaving for vacation today. And I started this yesterday, so nothing like chaos, right? But anyways, so we got 26 quarts, over 100 pounds of tomatoes, and that is going boop right on to the shelves in the pantry. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy the videos of the pickles and the ravioli sauce that I made. And let me know in the comments what you think. And if it's mean, keep it to yourself because I don't care. Okay, bye.